Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is part 4 of Glazing Gogeta. I am Mazer, the only guy on YouTube that is doing this. I think no one else glazes Gogeta as long as I do. That's worth a like and subscribe and a comment about how desperate I am to showcase my love for Gogeta. Anyways, today we're gonna pick up where we left off on part 3. You guys should probably watch the first 3 parts. That's about an hour, so I guess if you have time, just listen to that. This is like a podcast sort of thing, but don't say that because podcasts are cringe. But listening to YouTube audios are not. We're gonna have some Legends gameplay in the back, so it's not entirely weird. Alright, so anyways, we last left off with Gogeta Blue versus Broly, Super Saiyan Full Power. Gogeta just uses Soul Punisher, Peakaroni and Cheese, I might say, and Chilai just some of the Dragon Balls, which he just got him, I guess. Anyways, Gogeta, just to start off the video, Gogeta hits the hardest pose of all time. The hardest pose of all time. The hardest pose of all time. He essentially just like flexes his muscles in a cool way, and the aura around him changes the theme song. If I'm not mistaken, it does change the theme song. And of course, you do get to see a beautiful aura that he has. Beautiful. That pose he has is so good. In fact, the pose he does is so good that personally I think it's a little less embarrassing to do that pose than to use most of the Dragon Ball poses. Alright, we'll go on a side tangent here. In terms of Dragon Ball poses, I think, because it's a big part of fandoms to just like pose in like the ways that they do. For Dragon Ball, it's one of the better poses, honestly, because like if you're gonna pose for a Dragon Ball character, the only acceptable poses I think that are not weird and just entirely just inappropriate are gonna be Frieza poses, and then Goku Black poses sometimes, and then Gogeta. I think Gogeta actually has some decent poses. So like his main fighting pose that you'll see in like Ultra Gogeta's art in Dragon Ball Legends, that pose is actually a decent fighting position. Like it's not a horrible one. Like people might think you actually know karate or something, or just one of the martial arts from East Asia, but it's not a bad pose. And then you have Vegeto's pose, his little Yosha pose he does, his most popular panel. It's a pose. I would say I will give it to Vegito. That pose is a little less embarrassing to do in real life than Gogeta's, but I think if I were to choose one, I would go with Gogeta, because let's just assume I have the aura as well. Then it's just a cool pose. Like, it's such a cool thing to do. And I say the pose just works so well, because, like, just the way it happens. Like it's like does the pose and, like, aura immediately shines from him. That's, like a cool thing. That's so cool. He has his own impact frames from just holding a pose. That's so cool. But, anyways, he does that pose, which starts the combo of Meteor Strike. Meteor Strike? Yep, Meteor Strike. Gogeta's like lamest combo that's still a move. So he literally punches you 3 times, but it doesn't just punch you. Okay, pose into punch into zooming through you, literally like Sonic the Hedgehog, just zooming at you, punch, and then for the third punch he zooms all the way towards your face and hits you with the hardest punch of your life. Just the hardest punch you will ever. You are flabbergasted. You're just getting knocked out. Okay. And if I do remember, Broly does try to clash with the third punch, and of course he gets overpowered by Gogeta's pure aura, because he's just that good. And mind you, Gogeta's like the only guy who could really do that to Broly, because Broly's a huge dude. Like, I don't think you guys understand, when it comes to big villains in Dragon Ball, they're not allowed to get pummeled. They just don't get pummeled, actually. Think about it. The last time we had a big guy was, well, let's look at the last guy. That's a little bit too challenging. I'm doing this on the fly. I'm not gonna remember who the last guy was. But let's just start from a reasonable place. Goku Black Arc. Because why not? Zamasu Corrupt, by the way, super huge dude, did not get absolutely beaten and brutally beaten by Trunks or Goku or Vegito. Vegito versus Zamasu, while it was a relatively even fight in terms of in the anime, manga, I'm not gonna go to the manga because I did not read that entirely. I think I like just skimmed, which is weird because it's actually pretty good stuff in the manga. I think it's pretty cool, but I didn't really get to see a lot of the fights. But I don't think he got absolutely obliterated. Like he wasn't getting physically just beaten up. So then you go over to the next arc, Dragon Ball Super Tournament Power arc. No one really huge gets like beaten to like a pulp. No one, that doesn't happen. But what my point I'm trying to make here, it's a long point, honestly. This is the first time we ever see a Dragon Ball villain, or just anyone in Dragon Ball who's like a big, bulky guy get beat up to this extent. Only Goku does that, actually, because I'm just now remembering that Nappa kind of got treated pretty badly. I think Raccoon as well. But at least that wasn't that, it was a kind of like a slow thing. This is like a whole long fight. Alright, tangent aside, we get it. Gogeta is absolutely pummeling this orphaned child who is screaming out of his mind that is essentially sold into slavery. Anyways, Gogeta is beating him up. Okay. Now, this is the end of the fight, so I am gonna kind of drag on some of these points here. But, of course, after that beautiful display of those 3 punches that absolutely destroyed Broly, and probably destroyed at least one lung. I'm sure he's down a lung at this point. Gogeta's like, one of his interestingest moves, he uses his Meteor Explosion attack. Now, what that is, let me describe it in great detail. I had to pause there to describe it in great detail. Okay. Gogeta uppercuts Broly's big old body with a kick. Uppercut kick. Have we seen this before? Yes. If you go all the way back to part 1, you'll remember the uppercut kick is specifically one of Gogeta's moves. This is why Gogeta Blue is so great. Because he pays homage to Z Gogeta quite well, and I'm loving that all the way. Okay, all the way. Anyways, uppercut kick. Now, Broly is just stuck in the air. He's flying. You look in the air, you don't see a bird or a plane. You see Broly. Okay, Gogeta holds up his hands. He's like, "Oh, Father Lord, send out a beam to destroy this man." And the beam comes from hell, actually. It comes up from the ground, so wrong guy was listening. But anyways, he just sends up a giant beam. Like, just destroys him. Just like, he's getting eviscerated, honestly. Like, what's so upsetting is that Broly's getting beat up in every single way a Dragon Ball character could. He's not just being beat up physically, he's getting knocked out physically. But of course, the blast attacks are also hurting. Remember, in part 4, we have the absolute craziness that is the crazy machine gun blast he was shooting at Broly's back. Legit billions of back shots. Now, anyways, here is actually where I'm going to have a little bit of a gripe about the Meteor Explosion attack. Of course, without saying, let's just not forget that this attack is a nuke in every shape and form. It's a beam that quite literally becomes a nuke. Anyways, this move is interesting, to say the least, without covering video game appearances, because that would be a little unfair. That's just how they designed it. This has a lot of problems. Gogeta's moves usually have good names, and Meteor Explosion by itself is a good name. The only issue is meteors come from space, and that blast came from HE double hockey sticks, so not looking too good in terms of just being accurate to the name. So not too skibbity of the makers of that name. I mean, they could have called it like Earth Explosion. Well, never mind, that sounds lame too. Hold on a minute. Theory time. Meteor Explosion, okay? Meteor Explosion, alright? Think about this very closely. Meteor Explosion. Meteors come from space and hit Earth. Potentially. No, I think meteors are the ones that actually do come in. Yeah, meteors are the ones that actually do hit Earth. So, meteor hits Earth, okay? Let's think about a long, long time ago, the formation of Earth, depending on your beliefs, of course. At some point, the Earth was formed when a whole lot of meteors combined. I mean, Earth was at some point a little different, and like part of the moon actually was a meteor that hit us. The point being, Earth is made up of plenty of meteors combined. We're just a giant rock of just meteors that at one point just were like together, well, really separated. So that does mean that when Gogeta summons the Meteor Explosion, that technically, since the Earth is essentially a giant meteor, or at least has parts of meteors in it, that we can't say for sure that the Meteor Explosion was not actually a meteor explosion. I'm cooking. I am cooking. And I am good looking. You can't tell because I don't do a face reveal. Actually, 1K subscribers face reveal? Question mark? Question mark? I'm not gonna. No, it's gonna happen. I think. So though, subscribe, like all that. Anyways, shameless plug. He holds that entire blast. Broly at this point is quite literally just he's done. I mean, like he is like. I guess the best way to describe it is like, imagine you just ran a mile run. No, that's a little short. 10-mile run, no stopping. You're just running. And then, like, your friend says, like, half those miles didn't count for some reason, and you have to run another 5. It's like that face. It's like, you're not done, but you feel like it, right? And that's Broly at this point. He's lost all life in his soul. He's a scared little boy. He's regained consciousness, actually. Broly was going crazy. He was lost out of his mind. Essentially, he was on, like, 15,000 different drugs, honestly. And he thought he could do this, because he couldn't think. He was essentially just Hulk. And you know Hulk's whole deal. You get stronger, you get angry, vice versa. The only issue is Broly was not angry enough to actually beat Gogeta, because Gogeta was just that much stronger. Base Gogeta could have beat Broly. He just chose to go blue to just beat him up faster, actually. So, anyways, back to the situation. Broly, asthma attack, hardly alive. Okay, and now here's a funny thing. Whis hits the most devious smile ever and says, "It looks like this fight is coming to an arousing finale." That's the dub. That's the dub line. Watch the movie. I promise you, he says that. This fight's coming to an arousing finale. So Whis is clearly enjoying my boy Gogeta, just like I am. Okay, and here's the funny thing. The music starts playing. It's like dun 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 dun. It's pretty evil. I'm not gonna lie. This is some evil Knievel stuff for Gogeta. But anyways, my boy hits you with the pose. I'm not gonna say what pose, cause it's not gonna matter. I'm about to say these couple words. You can know what I'm talking about. My boy says Ka me ha me, and we hear the most beautiful thing ever. His eyes are swirling. This man clearly has killing intent in his eyes, and says, "Ha!" And boy, oh boy, we're seeing one of the coolest Kamehamehas of all time. Now, depending on where you're listening, the name of the Kamehameha is called like the full force Kamehameha. Mind you, this Kamehameha is essentially just Gogeta being like, you gotta die. So it makes sense it's called the full force Kamehameha. But what I'd also like to mention is that this is way better than the final Kamehameha. Now, of course, we're gonna hate on Gogeta in another video series, but let's go ahead and compare. This man Vegito uses a final Kamehameha. You can see the blue, you can see the yellow from Vegeta, his final flash. You see that, and it's not as big as this Kamehameha. It's a decent sized blast, I'll say. Doesn't even like kill Zamasu though. But then we have Gogeta here with his full force Kamehameha. This is just one technique. Imagine if he did the final Kamehameha. It would have way more damage. Anyways, it also does not hit the opponent. But this time it's a better reason. See, with Vegito, it didn't kill Zamasu. Zamasu technically got hit with it. He just didn't die. But Broly would have 100% died there. He is done. If it hit, essentially, if I could put this in Minecraft terms, if this guy did not have the Totem of Undying, if I could put it in Xenoverse 2 terms, if this guy did not have 3 stamina bars to hit his evasive, to put it in Budokai terms, if this guy did not have a Vanish, it's also Xenoverse terms as well. To put it in Fortnite terms, if this guy didn't have a Shockwave / Rift to go, done. Dead. It's over. It's Jover, Broly. Of course, fortunately for Broly, he did actually have a Rift to go, so he was able to essentially get Chilai, third party, to wish him back to his home planet. Essentially, he got beat so badly, he got to get exiled back to spawn. So, take that as you will. I take that as Gogeta being so goatly, so amazing, so peak aroni and cheese, with a little bit of pineapples on top, that he quite literally had to banish him back to the Shadow Realm. Because that planet really sucks. I mean, he got sent back to essentially where no one could live besides Broly, and Broly could barely live. He's definitely was not getting the calories he needed. But anyways, that happened, and you might be thinking this at the end of the video, no, because Gogeta has more to do. Obviously, Gogeta is looking confused, like, what happened? I was supposed to kill this guy, but he's not dead. But he's like, alright, bro. The day's saved, so I can't complain. And bro looks all majestically here, because Gogeta has to deal with Frieza. Frieza is trying to shoot down Chi-Lai, who's trying to go to Vampa, which is where Broly was sent to. And you already know, my boy Gogeta's like, nah, he gonna stop that. And what's crazy enough is that my boy is going to riz up Frieza, bruh. My man hits him with the my eyes on you, all looking beautiful and majestic. Like, my boy Frieza's like, never mind, bro. I'll come back for this planet, but you suck. And my boy Gogeta's like, man, nah. Now, here is where you could question Gogeta's character. He could have killed Frieza here. But of course, we know Gogeta is not a killer. He does not kill evil beings. And to Gogeta's knowledge, he did recently help save the universe. So, he can't really just kill Frieza here. Because technically, Frieza was here for the Dragon Balls. He didn't know that Broly was going to be a planetary threat. And actually try to destroy, like, the planet. Well, he didn't really try to destroy the planet. He just tried to kill. He was trying to beat up everybody. So, he didn't expect Broly to, you know, kind of beat up everybody. He didn't know he had all that power inside of him. So, you know, Gogeta really can't blame Frieza for that. So, it makes sense that Frieza is going to survive here. I mean, Gogeta has no reason to kill him. It's not like the wish was guaranteed going to be evil. Maybe Gogeta just secretly sensed that Frieza was just insecure about his height. I wouldn't put it past him. Now, of course, Frieza does leave, and Gogeta is just standing there with his beautifulness, just staring into the sky. You don't get to see that with many Dragon Ball characters. This is like a end of Buu Saga Goku looking all majestic. This is that type of moment. You don't get that. This is a like a main character only thing. Vegeta's never had this. The closest he ever got was staring into the rain. Krillin's never got this. Vegeta's never got this. Vegeta just gets knocked out. He has never just gotten to defuse. He always is forced out. Cause he just sucks. He can't. He's such an unbalanced character. He's actually just such a. I guess the worst way to describe it is if you even know about Steven Universe. He's like a corrupted fusion. Like, it's just not stable at all. While the Metamorph fusion is perfect, beautiful, truly, in essence, great. The only time they ever defused improperly was GT, aka the worst of Dragon Ball ever. The only thing you shouldn't watch from Dragon Ball, I might say. So, if you ask me, I think he's still 2 out of 2 because we don't talk about GT. Unless it's Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Anyways, that is how that went. Gogeta, obviously looking beautiful. He presumably defuses, honestly. Because he just had a normal life. And that fight, I don't know exactly how long it took. Because I don't think it's accurate to like how long. Because Gogeta and Broly were fighting for a decent amount of time. So I don't know how long the fight really lasted. Because it was definitely, I feel like it was 30 minutes or more. So I don't know how long it took for Gogeta to defuse. I don't know, because there's really no way to gauge it. I'm trying to figure out a way to actually figure out how long they had. But assuming that things were sped up, which most definitely were, I'm just gonna give it a relatively short estimate and say he only had like 5 minutes to himself. You already know Gogeta spent those 5 minutes chilling, frolicking around, just being a chill guy. Now, I don't know. This is pretty much headcanon here, so you guys can tune me out for this last bit of the video. But Gogeta seems like a nonchalant dreadhead type. You know, just chilling. But he's not like a weird nonchalant dreadhead. Like he's not trying to steal your girl or anything. He's just like an actually chill guy. He's one of those friends that you just want to have. Now, anyways, obviously my last video was essentially you staring at the trap BBN Gogeta picture, and you're probably wondering, how does that relate to this particular video? And congratulations, you had to wait like, what, 20 minutes to get to that? Same. How that relates is actually thinking about that animation right there. Gogeta getting absolutely clapped up by Broly. You start to realize that Gogeta isn't entirely out of place there. Despite Broly getting absolutely slaughtered by Broly, Broly can still come back and do some back shots. You know why? It's not because Gogeta is weak. Rather, it's because Gogeta is just him. The only guy who could manage to not only give back shots to Broly, but also take them is truly what you expect out of a switcheroo, a switchy. Truly the best ever. This guy can perform in every situation, which is what you should think about when you think of Gogeta. He performs in every single place. He's in the SSSSS tier. There's nothing he cannot do right. To my knowledge, he's a smart fighter. To my knowledge, he's also a strong fighter in Strike and Blast. He's got the evasion, and he's got the defense. He has every single stat max out. So the BBN trend was so popular because Vegito haters wanted to love the fact that he was getting back shots. But what they refused to believe, or acknowledge really, is that he did that masterfully. He did that masterfully. He was taking the back shots while in blue, by the way. While in blue. That shows that he is strong in the top and the bottom, okay? Now, this is a little bit of a weird ending off for the video. Very, very not good. Good thing I have my video set for not children, because this is certainly something I would not want to talk to a 5-year-old about. Anyways, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. If you didn't know, this is Mazer, and I'm at 270 subscribers. Very big number. It could go up. 1,000 subscribers, face reveal. Per chance. I don't know, actually. I mean, it's not like important or anything. I might do it just for fun. It's going to be a funny video if I do it, actually. I promise you, it will not just be me showing my face, and that'll be the whole content. I don't want to end up like Dream. It's going to be like an actually enjoyable video, and I'm not going to be like lame. Anyways, end of the video. Subscribe, like, and of course, if you have any malintent towards Gogeta, or you're just a Vegito fan, don't worry. Vegito slander is coming very soon. I'm not even done with the Gogeta glaze, actually. This is just me talking about each and every iteration in the like, just the movies in, I guess, yeah, just the movies, actually, because Gogeta 4. But don't worry, I'm not done. Part 4 is not where I'm going to end it. We're looking at about around 2 hours of content, so you can expect 2 more videos for Gogeta Glaze. So that'll be the end of today's video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.